And we are live. What is going on, guys? It's Redham here with the UNCUT podcast, and today we are bringing it back for a second episode. Here to welcome Black Zack and Raptio. And yeah, we're just gonna get straight into it. I know we left this for like 3 weeks. Like, we're planning on making this something more frequent than just a 3 week thing. But I don't know. How are you guys feeling?
Good. Yeah. So far.
Yeah, no, it's been a
Yeah,
it's been a
good.
quite a hectic week. All of us going back to uni and stuff like that. I think everyone's having a hard one. But yeah,
Yeah.
uh, one thing I wanted to talk about that just happened like what 2 days ago. What is it? Saturday or oh wait, sorry,
Uh.
Friday, Thursday. It was Jake Paul versus Neeson Gibb, and I don't know about that one. Honestly, I just saw someone crouching the whole time during the fight, pressing
Look
the
like a
circle button
fucking crab.
constantly. I don't know. I was That's like a disgrace to boxing for me. Like, I don't know about that, bro.
He looked like a crab.
Literally did. Like, the fact that I thought that he was gonna put up more of a fight because he's 2-0, isn't he? He was 2-0 going into that. I
Yeah,
think
but
he was.
That
that was
was
vintage.
amateur
Yeah,
boxing.
yeah,
This time it was professional. Now he's 0-1.
That was bad because,
Yeah.
like, he he was like, I don't know, he wasn't really shit talking that much, but he was more like saying that he's gonna win the fight and stuff like that. I don't know what like angle he was coming from, but that definitely was like probably one of the worst fights I've seen in like the whole of everything I've seen. Like, that's the worst. And there's been like bad fights, but that's the worst fight I've ever seen. So I don't know what he did in his training camp or anything like that, but I think everyone knew in that fight Jake Paul was winning that. But I think now what we really want to see is KSI versus Jake Paul. I don't know what you guys think about that one.
Yeah.
yeah. That's
That's what's up next. Jake Paul asked, told KSI is the A side right now, so he chooses when the fight is. But pretty much it's up to him now. Either make sure Jake Paul's completely gone, and then uh, I don't know, probably drop another shitty EP on something like that, and then depends who he has as
Another
EP.
shitty EP, bro.
Sometimes he has some nice people. Sometimes some days he just drops whatever, and he's like, oh cool, and then it's like so it's like motherfucker.
I think, my opinion, I think they already signed the contract to fight. I think they already were gonna fight like from the get go. I don't think like they only started now and they're starting the promo at the Neeson Gibb fight. I think they already signed the contract before that, long way before. So I don't know. He's like,
Jake was saying we should go to Saudi Arabia and fight for that, and I know KSI loves his money, so with Eddie Hearn's help, they just did the Andy Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua in Saudi Arabia. I'm guessing they'd like another pair of black guy and a white boy fighting.
bro,
It's not
like
considered slavery.
it's
Oh.
like I feel like they like I don't want to watch another YouTube fight anymore after seeing that. I'm not interested in watching that anymore. Like,
It wasn't on YouTube to be fair.
really,
That was
the
yeah,
zone.
that was on Sky for me. It was on Sky TV, but you just go on Twitch, type it in on the search bar, and you'll find it
And some
under
will be
fighting
streaming into
games.
the reflection of their glasses or something like that, bro.
That guy was king though.
Nah,
He
bro.
was smart with it as well. There was also that guy who acted like for UFC 230 sorry, UFC 34 35 between that. He acted like he had his PS4 controller like this and he
Oh,
was playing the game, but he made sure the light bar was showing, but it was actually the fucking match itself. So they didn't want to show that. That was pretty funny. I enjoyed that. And he got away with it because
I
people
can't
thought it
believe
was
he
a
got away
video
with
game.
that,
So the
bro.
whole
But another thing that happened last weekend was the CDL, and like that, the teams that won blew my mind. I didn't expect Minnesota Rocket to win because I've been going at
mm-hmm.
it with you with this whole Minnesota
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Rocket thing.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
personally, I didn't think that they were gonna beat Seattle Surge the first game, their first game, I
Hey,
think.
bro. As soon as Florida Mutineers proved their point and they fucking drowned the deep motherfuckers. They're the ones who are the king of the sea right now for this first opener. Um, but everyone saw a whole different vibe, like Royal Ravens, Paris. No one expected any
I
of
didn't
those.
expect
Paris were the
Paris.
lowest of the power
Yep.
rankings. Then it was London Ravens. Then it was I'm not sure who else, but I know Minnesota Rocker was there as well. And then we proved our point. LA Gorillas seem to be salty after they're the ones who saying that they didn't know, even though it would help if your team does scrim in life. Oh, in general, it would help if you know how to play the game or read the rule set, not just push somebody and walk away or pull up before coming in, hold up a letter that says massive L or well,
Ah,
that's what the memes have been. But now it says we won that Minnesota got a lucky win. Mm,
the
it
thing is,
helps
like,
if you
they
do.
should have checked their perks. They should have
Yeah.
checked it because,
That's what what's his name was doing. Scraps. He
yeah,
was making sure there was a picture, like when they're doing the overview of their screens,
yeah.
like looking at each player. Him and who was it that was doing it? They were both putting their fingers at each perk and just making sure that everything's there.
Yeah, so no one
That was
can tell them that they're not doing that right.
yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know if hardline made a huge difference in it. Do you think it made it? Because I know it gets your specialist quicker.
But
I don't know
the
if
thing
it.
is, it's obvious Minnesota Rocker was all, they didn't know that he was rocking it until the kill. They brought it up. The CDL refs probably brought it up when they were looking at it. Someone backstage must have brought it up because they didn't know. They just accepted that loss and went on to game two until they told them it's going to be 1-1, so they forfeit their round.
Yeah, but
But at the
that
same time, I wouldn't be forfeiting the round. I'd just say let's just restart the game because it's
Yeah.
literally only just about to go to game two. Just start that one game. But then again, you know what happened this week with like Optic versus who was it? Optic versus Paris. They took them all the way to game five, and that took a lot of time out the event. But that was pretty entertaining though. Optic Gaming, LA Optic, sorry.
yeah, their ass.
Pretty much.
I.
And yeah, and I know it was like T and I were watching it, and we saw well, it was Dashi. You saw, remember his face T, and like the first one, um, uh, the first one was like his face didn't even do any reaction. He just accepted the loss. He's like, okay.
Weren't you in it? I don't know. I remember watching it, but I don't know if
Yeah,
you were
we
in
were
the.
all in the Discord, the grinders one.
He had kill
Weren't you in
streaks
the
on, not
OG one or
specialists.
something?
So the hardline. But the thing is, you see in Codcaster, you can't see if they're running specialist perks. So they must have been running specialist perks because their streaks were grayed out at the bottom right. You know where it says their name and their gun that they're using? The streaks at above that line shows like cruise missile, VTOL jet, what infantry vehicle, but I don't know if it showed it. I don't. It doesn't show you your specialist perks, so we can't really know for sure if they had specialist perks on. Because apparently all the pros had specialist perks on at the event. Because I saw when there was like a when they had like what a 10 kill streak. I think Form was on a 10 or 12 kill streak. He had all the perks, I think, because
Yeah, yeah,
when you get all those kills, you get all the perks because you have tracker and spotter. But I'm not sure
yeah.
about
But
him.
they'd rather run the specialist perks than put on streaks because if some fucker accidentally uses it, then
Yeah,
because look
just
at
to be
tens
safe.
look at the tens with all the cluster strikes. So
That's a
annoying.
bunch of cunts in who can't play the game.
They gave a
They
statement. Oh
you
yeah,
fuck.
I saw the
Yeah.
statement. I just can't
Yeah,
remember.
the statement was funny though. That's just a pussy statement though. If I were them, I'd just fucking like accept the loss and move on. Don't be a little bitch.
Well,
Yeah, but
in their press conference, they kept on saying, "Oh, we 2-0 still." Like they kept on saying that
Me too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Even though they know they lost it, and even though they did win against who was it that they
they
versed
won
after
against.
they
Uh,
won their first win was against
didn't they
who
beat
was it?
Seattle Surge? Yeah, they did. They beat
Yeah.
Seattle Surge.
I mean Minnesota can. They would have won, but they lost
Yeah, the thing
momentum.
is, they lost momentum after that first loss, and but we beat them fair and square on domination and on hard point. They couldn't beat us in that. especially with the rotations. You know, I noticed what's it called? Besides the poor fucking camera movement in this whatever the fuck they were doing with the testing the new toys, they rotate so slow. They were pushing very eagerly for a couple of seconds left in hill.
No,
Just
because they did well on the HP, but they just after that forfeit, I think it pissed them off, and then that's when they just dropped. Because they did well against everyone else, like they did quite well. It's just only that forfeit
they lost.
happened.
There was the S&D that they lost. They had to forfeit.
Yeah, yeah, but like they
That's the
did well
first
in
one.
that S&D. Just they had
Mm.
to forfeit it. That fucked them over, I think.
I just think if you're a pro player and you play this game like every single day for 13, 14, 15 hours on end, like you should be able to regain after that. Like some of the best players regain after that. Like I'm pretty sure Looney had that in World War II where he called in a UAV. I don't know who it was against, but I think they still won. But they forfeited that map. I'm not sure. I don't know the full details of that, but that you should be able to pull it together.
Hey, Looney be looking like bliss, bro.
I kept
This
on
is
saying that to him, like even when we I think it was after the LAN, we played the Gamma LAN last year. I messaged him. I was like, "You really do look like Looney." He didn't like that because Looney used to have intense acne at one point, and now his skin looks perfect. I was like, he kept on asking
He
me,
could fit in a commercial or one of those acne
yeah,
prevention.
literally, and Bliss kept asking me, "Am I Looney like pre World War Two or am I Looney after World War Two?" And I just wouldn't answer it like at all, like 'cause just leave him on edge. But I actually miss teaming with that guy. I won't lie. Like, like as much as like I used to get frustrated with him, and he used to get frustrated with me for getting frustrated at him. Like it was still we used to be the duo in every team. Now I don't really have that now, but I mean the best duo is you and yourself, eh? That's just how it is. But
I missed him because he sounded like
sounded like Pathfinder, bro.
Pathfinder from Apex. Every time he spoke.
He acted like a robot, bro.
there's a sub for Optic. They should have put him in. They should have
Chino,
used him.
MJ
Yeah,
Chin.
yeah.
I don't know,
I think they should have put him in. He would have
but
done
for
some
who
good.
Also,
though? That's the
Mr.
thing.
Sensor as well. I'd
Sensor
like him to be
Sensor
in.
would have done
It's proof.
well in place of Temp or in place of I don't know who you probably Tempo Zero because I think those are the people those are the guys who underperformed this event. Um, Attach had a decent event. Uh,
Yo, they need a. Shotzi needs to pick up his shit though.
I mean it is his first pro card event, so I'm not gonna be too hard on him for that.
But
That's
he went like what 7 and 35 or something.
but Temp went 6 and 35 or something like that, bro. Like and
No,
Temp's been playing
that
for
man didn't
like
even break double digits.
4 or 5 years. I'm going back to this topic that we were speaking about a couple days ago. This game is like you get punished for doing the wrong thing off the start. Like if you do the wrong thing off the start, you get punished, and some of the momentum-based players suffer a lot. Like if Shotzi was, we don't really know about Shotzi that much, but if he is a momentum-based player and he gets shut down immediately off the first 5 kills, of the first 5 kills, then he's probably gonna like not perform as well as he would if he got the first 2 kills, rotated to the next kill, maybe pick up a kill, maybe die. He wouldn't be as consistent. But this game is very momentum based. But I think your performance is based on if you're a momentum based player or if you're just a player who's consistent.
Yeah, but those are Halo players for you. Cause same thing happened to Krim.
But we could talk about Hugh as well because he came from Halo.
Who?
Hugh came
Oh,
from
Hugh.
Halo, so
Yeah, he did do quite well actually.
he's been doing well like since he started COD. Like he's probably one of those players where like if you have him on a team, you just build around him because he's
I
that
don't know,
superstar of every team.
but Empire's reasoning was shit because of the whole patch note thing.
No, that's 100%. They were wrong to say that. Like you can't blame it on a patch.
But notice who was the one that brought it
Crim
up and who
six.
kept speaking.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
Just because he lost, Crimsick was never, what's it called? I'm gonna be real with you. All Crimsix looks like wants to do is just get revenge. Says this season is a revenge. He got nothing. If anything, he got a wake up call to don't be fucking ass. Don't be an asshole and don't like treat your teammates like a backhand. Like the
yeah,
way he is playing is like it was like he's playing for himself, which is basically most of these motherfuckers out here. like who don't want to even bother to try. They'd be playing for themselves. And he was playing for himself because half the time his teammates looked at him, and even you could see in the camera, they looked to
Yeah.
the right. They're like, huh? You just look straight through and just watch that shit. I mean, like, what the fuck? If you're in a team, you need to be playing with your teammates. You need to vibe together. Otherwise, that vibe won't just fuck your team. And then what will happen then? They'll blame you, and then you just do a shitty excuse like, "Oh, they don't do it. They shouldn't have done
Or the patch and
a patch before."
yeah.
Yeah, I get there's not a patch before. Trust me, I get that. That's a dick move what they did,
Yeah, but
and
everybody
it's
had to
good to
deal
call
with
him.
it.
It's good to call
Call them
Infinity Ward
out.
out,
Yeah.
because in the future time they will understand. But don't keep going and running that shit on your streams when you're playing PC games, Arklov Peak, whatever the fuck you're doing.
Escape
Like,
from
oh, sorry,
Tarkov, yeah.
Escape from. They had like the same name, and then I'm like, oh shit,
Yeah,
always.
Oclave
But
Tarkov.
yeah, but it's just that you keep running with the same
Yeah.
thing. Just get better. It's your first game, yeah. Sorry, it's the opening tournament for this whole league, and you can just change it up, man. You don't have to always just keep fucking writing something like
Yeah,
just
but
keep
everybody
fucking
had
up.
to deal with the same patch notes.
Yeah, so exactly. So his way to make an excuse like, nigga, get the fuck out of here, man.
Like
Just play the game you want to play.
if you look at it
Don't be a dick
like
when
at
you do it.
look at Atlanta phase, right? They were well, according to what they were saying, they were abusing the slide cancel the most out of everyone, and they won both of their games.
Yeah, but they are
Um,
fucking
and they're
demolishing.
good. They are really
But the
good.
thing is, they can't be like people can't be hating on them for abusing a mechanic that's
Yeah,
in the
it's
game.
literally a mechanic. You can use it.
Mm.
Like
But the thing is, they were still using it. They were still really good with it, even though they had that
Yeah,
whole patch.
and then not all their kills were based on just slide
yeah,
canceling. They were just using it to maneuver
there was
themselves.
no weapon nerf
After
either.
that, they were fucking the teams up.
They
They
were
went
slide
into
canceling quite a lot there around corners, but
yeah.
it works though.
Yeah. Um,
They're really good though.
I
Simp,
just
that game is disgusting.
I just don't
Simp is
understand.
a nice guy. I think he seems like a very quiet player.
Hmm.
Outside of COD, but then when he plays the game where he feels comfortable and feels like home to him, he goes off. He's fucking amazing.
He's really good.
It was pretty fucking sad the way he was saying about like how Alec isn't there and the plane ride's going home and he misses
Oh
that.
yeah,
It's like, bro, oh damn, that's in the fields. I was like, oh, okay, this is getting emotional shit. Because he sounded like he was breaking down when you were saying that, like,
because I
and
think he
obviously,
really relied on them, like, because that was his like
mm,
first chance, like for everything. So,
yeah,
uh,
that's family as well.
I'm just excited for the next weekend. That's gonna like they did that whole thing of Huntsman and FaZe would never play each other for views, and now they're actually doing it. So we're gonna next weekend FaZe versus Huntsman. Lit. That's gonna be a good game.
and Huntsman have been losing scrim maps to them, and that's obviously it's just online scrims. Like everyone takes online scrims like the
Yeah, but that's
result
what everyone
or
was
the
saying.
outcome. Most it's a lot. It's a big thing in this country as well for COD. Like the if people see like the scores you get in scrims and stuff like that, they'll be like, "Oh no, like let's sleep on this team." And then when it comes to land, that team just wipes the floor with everyone. Because you just the team you look down on a lot is the team that usually comes back after if they stick together. It's a team that comes back and it's like look at Gamma last year. Gamma, the beginning, everyone looked down on them. They got slept on, and then what? They came back and they placed seventh or sixth at VS. I don't know. That's something that I don't like to do a lot, but it's part of the nature, and it happens. Mm,
Mm.
Kraus is saying in the chat, Tommy is greater than Shotzi. At this point, he really is. We've been watching it, but I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if they would bring. This is also something like I don't know if they would bring on a sub immediately like after that event, or they'll wait until after London and then they'll bring in a sub because I think
Because I
yeah
know London. I don't think FaZe and Atlanta is playing. They still have the same. What's it called? Sorry, Atlanta is FaZe. FaZe versus Chicago. They're not in this one.
yeah I don't think
It's
they're
in
in
the
this one
next. Yeah, they're not playing with each other this one.
because it's like in groups
They
now,
are
so it's
playing,
like
yeah, but they are playing each other at some time because
Yeah,
in the
they'll
thing
be
it said they
playing.
would never.
They either play in Atlanta which is the next month one. It depends if they win it, and then they'll say which ones are for the next day, for Sunday times, because there's Saturday and Sunday matches. But then throughout the year, it just depends on them, because sometimes Chicago isn't in their same area
Yeah,
with them.
because before they were never gonna play together, and
Hmm
then people were pissed off because
It
there's a
depends on how they wins, because right now it's still the same matches. They're not playing together until they win or some shit. Because it's all the same schedules on their website.
somewhere it was on Twitter that said they're changing it because they heard everyone bitching because of Huntsman and FaZe were the top team.
Right now it's still the same. The website it updates
Yeah.
every day. The website. So right now it's still good.
I wonder if they would change the schedule, because they've been planning it for like how long? Since November last year. So I don't know if
Hmm
they'll change it per
They go
event.
all the way
Yeah,
till
the
June.
last event. Yeah,
Yeah.
last event is in June.
But it
Um,
it also depends because like Atlanta, if FaZe wins some of the matches, they always put the Saturday matches first,
yeah.
then the Sunday matches to be announced. So what happens
Oh,
is that's where they can just announce FaZe versus Huntsman. So they always do the um you see the groups via each other, but even though Huntsman is in group B and FaZe is in group A, it depends on how they can do that.
No, if FaZe is in Group B and Huntsman's in Group A, they're gonna fucking meet up. They're both
No,
gonna
they're
win.
not because they fight away right
they
now.
do
It's
it
fighting in
between
Group B
groups. Yeah,
between groups.
they'll
Yeah.
they'll probably have an event where you have an intergroup, because they did that last season, but it's different this season. There's a
hmm
interdivisional. There was Division A and
Yeah.
B.
So probably in the
Because
future they'll do. Right now it's just in groups.
people are gonna get bored of seeing like Group A facing a.
The same thing. Yeah.
I
Because
would
the
hate
Group
it.
Bs are just the people that we who won last
Yeah.
time.
Mm.
And then the Group A's are the people all lost.
I just know the one reason why they said they would never put them together was they came up because of views. Because when FaZe
X
was
posted
playing,
that, but X is always salty about something. Like my
Yeah.
opinion.
there was someone posted a fucking thing of like viewership when FaZe was playing. They peaked at like 70,000 viewers.
Yeah, that was X who posted that.
And then with Huntsman, it was also like 65 something. So
Yeah.
the top most viewed teams were Huntsman, FaZe, Minnesota, and there was another one. What was the other one? Just top. They're just never gonna play it. The FaZe
Rocker.
and Huntsman. Might have been Rocker, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Rocker is in the top
But
5 now, is Zach?
yeah.
Yeah, because they won their games. It's all the people, all the teams that went 2-0 are the top
Mhm.
3, top 4.
Everyone who attended and like played a match, they all earned 10 CDL points.
Yeah.
Who wins the extra two, and then obviously a loss is one, which was yikes. But then now in London they won't be. Chicago will be playing, but like Atlanta, it depends how they activate their pool,
Mm.
the way the group and tell shit. Because right now it's the same until
Well,
they do something.
Empire was what? Empire's the number one online team, but then they just fucked up at LAN. Because
Depends on
apparently,
who's in the CDL league.
because
Yeah,
apparently, Empire's got the best interconnection across everyone. They've got the best internet connection. That's why they've been winning tournaments. And then
hmm.
everybody said, "Wait
But
till you
then
go to
obviously now when it's in league that's actually being counted, it's gonna be different because they're all on the same connection base, all on a LAN.
I just
yeah."
I don't know.
Because they just online
Like Empire's got to work on. Uh,
a
I,
lot.
it's not that they've got to work on a lot, because a lot of the maps were close in terms of respawns. Besides, their Hackney Dom is probably not the best that I've seen. But
They're not good at They got 6-0 in S&D by FaZe, and then Huntsman didn't win the S&D, did they? They got 6-0 or something.
Huntsman got 6-1, I think.
6-1.
Um, but FaZe could be the best team at the moment right now. I mean,
Yeah, in the Group B division, they're number one,
yeah, they are. Um,
and for A it's Huntsman. So if they ever do like a Group A versus a Group B, then yeah,
I don't know.
that will definitely be
I think
interesting.
if Dallas Empire just goes back and looks at what they did wrong, or they go back and start thinking about how they're going to utilize game mechanics and not be too dependent on it, They could really, I think they could be the top three, because right now they're not top three, like in the power rankings. I'm not sure.
No, they're
So,
at the bottom, I believe, because
They're the
they're
bottom.
0-2.
because I could see first Atlanta Phase, second Huntsman, and then third Dallas Empire. There's no ways a team
No,
with
no,
that
no.
talent.
Right now, like the season standings, like right now, if you want to know, it's Atlanta Phase #1, Chicago Huntsman, Minnesota Rocker, Paris. But I think they switched it over. Paris is now
Is now
third
up.
place, and Minnesota
Yeah.
Rocker is below. Mutineers #5, Ravens #6, #7 Gorillas, #8 is Ultra, #9 is Surge, #10 is Optic, 11 is Empire, and then the last is Subliners.
Empire
But
could make it to
everyone,
third though. They could make
everyone
it to third.
till yeah, they could. Everyone until 8, till 8 gets 10 CDL points, but Surge, Optic, Empire, and Subliners never got any points, CDL points, even for the first match played. They didn't get any.
That's
It
bad.
depends if they won. Yeah. So right now it's just the top 8 teams that got the
Like you
points.
would think that their team would be doing well, since look they've got a
But
tough.
it shows you what connection can do for you
Yeah.
versus what LAN can do.
But I want to
They,
see
you
what
know
they
when
can
like
turn
motherfuckers
into.
say Surge #1. Ooh.
Yeah.
It shows you though. Like what it's like, whenever fuckers go, it's like, meet me a LAN, kid. I'll fuck you up.
And like everyone gets to land, and they just hardly look at each other, bro. I swear.
Yeah. Hey bro, the motherfuckers that talk the most shit won't say that shit to your face.
That's true.
That's the funny part.
Actually, talking about Surge, everyone's like saying like, oh, it's such a big like upset that I can't believe these five players lost. The only thing they need to work on like immensely is their S&D. If they get their S&D, they've got two maps in the bag already. If they just, because they've got veterans on their team, they've got one of the smartest players on their team, Karma. I mean, he's not the most vocal, but he is the most influential on the map. So you make use of his knowledge and practice. This is what I think that teams are doing or should be doing. They look at a path to pro team, any path to pro team within their region. They just practice S&D first, and then do respawns like just for them, like because I mean every team is looking for more respawn practice against the bigger team. So you do your S&D practice, and then you do your HP practice. Because I think S&D right now is what I think the bottom five or the bottom seven are lacking in S&D. Everyone under the top five power rankings is lacking in S&D, and that's just it. Um,
Mm.
like even our team, which we'll get to in a moment, like our S&D is like was lacking, and then we started like scrimming uh certain teams for S&D. So that's what we started doing as well. That's just something that I think most people are doing. Um,
Speaking of scrims, how's your scrims been going? Both of y'all.
I don't know. Tio can
Because
go first.
these two they both players for COD ZA. I ain't no player for COD. I
Should be. You would do
can't.
well.
Nah. Uh, you're pushing it. But yeah, T, you can go on.
No, I mean, scrims have been okay depending on which team I play it because I've been trialing, so I'm not playing with a team consistently. So it's iffy. It's like 50-50 with
Now you
the
say you're
scrims.
not playing with the team consistently. How important is that to people? Because
Hmm?
you understand it. How important is that to people?
What to play consistently?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it's
to even
fucking.
have a team online to grind with and to stuff like that. Because I know you've been facing some issues where no
Yeah,
one wants to.
yeah, no, that's why I'm trying to look for a team, or at least get a team that's willing to come on. But it's kind of tough when no one has that grind anymore.
But
Mm.
like, what is it like to like trial? Because I haven't
Pain in the ass.
like what is like the process like? Because some people who are watching this, and if they go and rewatch it soon, they'll like want to know like what is the whole process like? How do they even get noticed by a team? Um, how does that work? Because a lot of people are starting now this season and want to know what is the path to getting onto a decent
Uh,
team. Obviously, you can't really say who you're trialing for on stream, but what do you need to do? How much effort do you need to put in? Like, what does your mindset need to be like, etc.
Well, you have to obviously put up with the shit that comes your way, but to get noticed, do what we call an essay, which is really shit, is cap tens or some sort of way so you can show that you have communication skills and you have knowledge and just perform the best you can in those caps, which is normal tens. Well, it should be called tens, and just grind through the bullshit that's going to come your way. There's going to be a lot of bullshit because you're a new player. Uh, there's gonna be a lot of there's gonna be a lot of shit, and that you're gonna get picked over. Like a lot of people are gonna pick other players over you, but eventually people stop picking you because they know you and how you play. But there's a lot of fucking grinding that you're gonna have to do, and a lot you have to learn, and you have to just outgrind everybody else and just perform as well as you can as an individual in those, and then start trying to apply for teams, which is a pain in the ass because it takes us not a day or two. It takes about weeks to trial because they look at quite a lot of what you do, how you perform, how do you gel with the team, what's your attitude like, how you play, what you play, are you good at your role that you do, uh, do you have the knowledge? There's quite a lot that comes into consideration. It takes weeks. It's a bit of a pain in the ass, but I don't know. It's a long process and it's an annoying process, but every team's gonna do it, so you just have to put through it.
And how did people notice you? Like, what did you have to do to
Through
get noticed?
caps, I just played a shit ton of cap tens, and then showed that I was able to communicate with other people, and showed that I could do the role that I can do in. I can do the role that I do, and I can do it well. So as long as I can show that I am not a person who just plays with no communication, has no idea what I'm doing, I would show it through that, where people can see it, hear it, and obviously because since it's caps and you're communicating and you're gonna tell people where you are, you're positioning, they're counting the feed, they're counting players, so you obviously count the feed so you can know if you can stop breaking it. That's like 2 down, 3 down, stop pushing. They can obviously see that you're doing your job or whatnot, whatever you play, subway or aggressive or passive.
I don't know. I would think that nowadays it's much harder to get into teams.
It is because there's high expectations, or there's um, what is it? It's either high expectations, or they look at KDs, or they look at some dumb stuff, or it's just a long process. And then if you get hit with a no, then you're unlucky as fuck, because then you have to go apply for the next team. So
Yeah,
Um,
same process again.
Yeah.
so I would advise you apply to a shit ton at once, and you just try and scrim your ass off with everybody, like who you're trialing. That way, if it's not a fuck up that if one team doesn't want you, still have the other 2, 3 as backups.
That's actually
Anyway,
a good answer. I won't lie. But like, if if you go into BO4, right? If you go back to BO4, it was much harder to get into a decent team if you were a start-off player. It was very hard because the skill gap. I feel like the skill gap in BO4 was immensely, large because you had people who knew how to abuse the slide cancel mechanic from the get-go. You had people who had been playing since the start and had been with their teams ready. Because the thing is, if you get that chem right, if you get good chem and teammates with good chem, then it's just gonna you guys gonna continue to dominate. That's if you have the gun skill. That's if you have the knowledge, and chem is just the last thing that ties it together. Um, touching on this, no one wants to scrim S&D. No one wants to scrim. The thing is that with S&D is you can't if your team if you're in rivalry with another team and that you guys are on the same level, you should be aiming for S&D practice with teams who are. And it's not good to put levels out there, but you usually scrim with the S&D with a team who's usually like lower in skill level, the team that's just starting out. Because the reason why that should be done is because that kind of team would be more stronger in S&D because they have things that you haven't seen ever. Because they'll do things like 5-man push a certain site, or they'll have things like everyone rushing through mid at one point, or 3 people going on the flank, 2 people faking a bomb site. Like, that's just something that I think is something that needs to be done by every team, but it just depends on people want to scrim S&D, and that's just. I mean, for the top tier teams in this community, it's not good to practice against each other for S&D besides tournaments because you leak all your strats, you leak everything that you do unless you change it constantly. But I mean, that's just my point of view. There, then again, um, but yeah, um, what happened this? Oh yeah, we got announced this week. My team got announced this week. We picked up, and everyone's going on about it. Like everyone was asking us about it. We picked up. So before I even go into that, like we had our core roster. It was me, Cyberox, um, Rogue, and then
Overcook.
and who else? Oh, Roasty. So Sheldon. So we had. I mean, it was us four, and we had a Ruthless. And what happened there was, is that we felt that we were playing way too slow, and a lot of people had asked me like, why did he leave, or why did the team let him go? And it's because we felt like we played way too slow. There was a lot of discussion about it, and I was on board with anything that made our team better. And I could see that there wasn't enough hill pressure, there wasn't enough OBJ support. It was more like everyone just getting around the hill, but no one gets into it, and that's a big problem now with this game as well. So we were playing really slow, um, and we had to. The thing is, Ruthless left before we even made a change. So we said we wanted to trial Prodigy, and we know Prodigy is Xbox. Um, but if push comes to shove and the league isn't crossplay, like the VS League isn't crossplay, then the org will provide him a PS4, or one of our teammates will provide him a PS4, and uh, that'll be sorted from there on out. But the thing is, the the talent that we picked up was something that I don't know. It was just we discussed it the one night. We said, we need to look at different people. We looked at various different people, even looked at people in different teams that were even breaking up that we knew of, and I just saw Prodigy Simon. If you guys don't know his name, I was just playing tens in the start of the game, and he used to just shred, even me as well. Like he used to just go dumb hard, and I just saw that, and I was like, I know it's not a good uh, way to view someone's performance, but I said maybe we give him a shot. I know he's Xbox player, but let's just see how it goes. I know he's new to competing, so let's just see how it goes. And we tried it the first couple of days and the first week, and it worked well. Um, there's just a hunger and a passion to go for it. Only thing we need to work on, and this is I need to touch on, and this is with all teams, is that we need to work on our ability to get to scrims on time. That's just for me is that's like an important thing with scrim etiquette. Like getting being on time, or even like telling your team, yeah, I'm gonna be like 5 or 10 minutes late. That's the only thing that for me is something that annoys me a lot. We just need to constantly communicate if you're gonna be late or on time or stuff like that, because we had an issue a couple of what days ago where we scrimmed, but then we didn't know where two of our teammates were, and we were just battling to get them on. So that's just one thing for me. Um, but yeah, it's good to be in good gaming. It's a good org. It's a PC org. I don't know. We just putting in a lot of you know knowledge, more brain time. We putting in a little less scrim time and putting in a bit more brain time, VODs, etc. We're watching the CDL together, looking at different things that we need to do. But yeah. We were scrimming Tio's team a lot. We were scrimming Tio's team a lot, and that's where like I was seeing like how people are now, like when they scrim, like some people take scrims and practice just to win, and I don't understand like why everyone just takes practice to win. Like you take practice to learn different things. I don't know. I don't know, Tio, with your team. You need to tell us about your team.
You
Don't,
say my team like I'm part of a team. It only gets on Sunday. If it doesn't
well,
get announced,
everyone
then I
knows you've been
try
trialing
for
for a
no.
team. You can't say who you're trialing for, but you can at least say
I've
like
been trying for teams with an S.
you've only been
So
playing for one team this last 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
no, I've tried two others, but that was like once or twice this week.
Like the one
Because
you've been main scrimming with the whole time.
yeah, there's that one and there's two more, but I don't know. They're all of three are a mess. No one goes on and no one plays like at all, and
Well,
because
you
on
get
the
to find out
weekend,
tomorrow what happens. If you're in or not.
uh, I don't even give a shit if I'm in or now. I just want to know the answer so I can just play
I
because
don't
it's
know.
been too
I
long.
think my thing is that if you know that you have the talent, if you know yourself that you have the talent, you got to take the best offer. Because if you like rate yourself on a scale, if you're a player who's like a level 7 out of 10, you can't go for a team that's a level 2 out of 10. Because when you play with level 2 out of 10s, you're going to become, after a period of time, you're going to become a 4 or 3 on average. Because I think it's like you are, like whoever you play with, you become the product of who you play with and who you play against as an individual. So you got to be careful with what you do there.
Yeah, no, that's why I was trolling out for the other two that are known, quite known in the community, which you know about.
Mm.
That's the other two. But I don't know. Whatever happens, happens. But if the one that I scrimmed you against this week, if I'm part of that one, I don't know. That's like custom games. Like that's where we need to begin. Like we need to go fucking there and just figure out where everyone is, and everyone needs to communicate who's next to them. There's not enough sub communication. That's not gonna
That's
happen.
obviously something you're gonna have to work with your team with.
Yeah,
If you
that's
do.
yeah. Like there's a lot of issues that's obviously seen, and it's just not gonna work. You just need to fix it. It's gonna take ages though.
My
Well, but,
like we can complain about we can complain about like everything that happens in our team, but at the end of the day, we've got to just push through it all the time because um I have certain things with my team that I don't like. Like I just spoke about us being late sometimes, and I know it's not a good image on us. Sometimes we're late. Sometimes we have console issues. Like I know the one time Simon's Xbox crashed every single time we loaded up a map, and that was out of our hands. But what is in our hands is being punctual. That's one thing I take seriously. Or notifying, each other if you're gonna be like 5 to 10 minutes late, or half an hour late, or you can't do this, but early, not like we just about like 30 minutes into the scrim, like we're gonna go scrim in 30 minutes, and then someone tells me, oh no, we can't play. That pisses me off because everyone cleared all their schedules to be there, and then all of a sudden now one person or two people can't play. Like that for me pisses me off because we all have things to do, like we have studies to do, we have work to do, and then we clear up our schedules for that. So that for me pisses me off because everyone has other things to do as well, whether it's just relaxing and playing or scrimming or doing something else. Like for me, like being able to like respect other people's time is a very big thing for me. Um, Especially when you're scrimming other teams as well. Like if you're a team that's on time and you're scrimming a team, like scrim etiquette for me is if this is something that pissed me off this week when we scrimmed a team. We scrimmed a team, and we were playing, and then towards the end of the game, what's Simon's Xbox crashed, and we played a 4v5. And the team continued to play throughout the end until they were able to win. But then when we played the next day, one of their players timed out, and they were losing, and then all of a sudden they end the game. That's not good etiquette for me. Like you can't just take a scrim just to win. Doesn't make sense. What are you gaining from it? Because if you're just gonna take it to win, you're gonna have bad habits that you're not gonna iron out at all, and you're gonna think that all those bad habits are actually good habits that you are going to use over and over again, and against the bigger teams, you're going to get smoked. That's just my opinion.
and I'm pretty sure this week you had your revenge with them.
Yeah, but I mean, scrims.
How did that go?
Well, like after that happened, I said, "There's no ways that they actually just did that." Because we couldn't scrim after that day. We couldn't scrim after that because Simon's Xbox kept crashing. But it worked the next day, and we scrimmed them, and then we. I just said, I'm just gonna go dumb hard because there's no ways that like they just did that. I'm not mad now. I'm just saying that if teams do that, the middle tier is not gonna get anywhere. And my team I think is like middle tier. Like we still we want to face some of the top teams and play against the top teams because we still have to like bridge that gap. Um, we scrimmed Evo, and the thing I like about Evo is that like if it's a 4v5 for us, like they'll end. If it's a 4v5 for them, they'll end. That's just how it is. That's how scrimming should be.
Consideration.
Yeah, consideration. That's how it should be because obviously you can't end in HP midway through the tournament. Like a tournament, you can't do that. But if it's scrims, both teams are trying to get better, and you can't get better if you're a man down. Doesn't make sense. Like for me, that's just stupid. No team should ever play scrims to win, even though like you use winning as a performance, judge assessment. That just pissed me off this week. Um, Other good news is that I'm not captain of my team. So it's been the first time in like 2.5 years where I'm finally not captain. So anything that happens, you guys can't blame me anymore. You can't blame
Yeah.
me for any
All
bullshit.
the motherfuckers in the chat, Twitch chat, all talking nicely,
Yeah,
but then on Twitter go and say, "Oh, Perez, what a snake he is, snaking
yeah,
people off the team, talking shit." Yo, that's gonna be funny as hell when they.
it's funny.
It's like, "Oh, I'm not the captain though."
Yeah,
It's like, but they'll still blame
they'll
you though.
still they'll
That's the
still
best
blame
part.
me. They'll still
And
blame me.
some of you motherfuckers watching this podcast
Yeah,
now know who you are.
and
That's what's
even the ones
funny.
who are gonna watch this afterwards, they're gonna see this thing and be like, oh,
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
like,
It's like, oh, let's just blame him
like
because
if I if
even though he's
I
not captain.
if I today Zach had to get dropped like now, if I had to get dropped like right now, no one will say anything. No one will say anything. But if someone from our team gets like if it looks like they got dropped or they left, but then people think they got dropped, they'll be like, oh no, I can't believe like you dropped him, and I'm like, I don't even handle that. I
Yeah.
don't even do that anymore.
It's okay, Perez. You'll just go into like your 225th team now. From my boy, what's his name? Crinkler Zere.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wait, Perez.
Haven't you
How
been
many
in
teams
200
this year,
teams this
bro?
year,
Like
bro?
200 teams plus.
Ah, he's an idiot, bro.
This man, yeah. Some people just come out and then they say, "Yeah, no." People refuse to take off CDL camos while they're running around invisible.
No,
I heard about that glitch.
let me tell you
That
why they're running in. Let me tell you why they're invisible. The people who are invisible are the guys wearing. I don't know what the name is. It's there's two. This it's on
It's the one with
Allegiance.
the headgear.
It's
The
the
one with
two characters who have the headgear on. The two guys
the
from
snow
Allegiance.
mask and then the camouflage mask.
Yep.
The Grinch and then the.
No,
She's
that
that's
means
a
there's three.
guy.
Because it's only the balaclava people that had that issue. Because I had that with you.
There's
Because
one on Collision, which is the one with the ski mask. He's the one with that tank top, and like he looks like Sid.
oh yeah, looks like you.
Sid is Tio.
He's fucking tall.
Tio look like gunless because Tio's eye.
Yeah, because his eyes
Tio,
like crooked.
Tio, it's scientifically proven that Tio knows who killed JFK and where that sniper bullet came from. Because if he ever watches that video, he can go 3D and just look to the left while just looking straight to that video.
uh, but the only pro because I saw pros are using those camos, but they're just not using the one with the balaclava mask on.
They're
'Cause
using the default.
they're
Collision
using
version.
like the first one or the second one in each, in
As long
Coalition
as
and
it doesn't
Allegiance.
have the face mask or the ski mask. I think
In the new rules that came out recently, the update rules, they got rid of. They said temporary shit.
yeah, it's
Uh,
banned. Yeah.
they banned
Those-
cosmetic skins.
But they're not gonna ban it in scrims. People know which ones are the broken ones. So there's all the Pro 10s and stuff in scrims that I've seen still using.
Happened to us in a
Probably.
tournament. Jude straight up said no. I mean, like, there's nothing you can really do about that. But I mean,
It's up to their.
it's up to them because
Again, this goes up against with consideration.
yeah.
You want to do it, you do. Otherwise, lost them
Because
and just move on. I guess.
I think I've taken off the mask one because I realized like when I played against Tio
Yeah,
from
I
a
didn't
distance,
know that it was an issue.
like if you're sitting on Hackney Yard and if you have spawns, coalition spawns, and you go up abandon and you look at them running through mid, you can only see their head. Like you can only see like the balaclava. So I decided to take that off now. So because the in Cap Pro 10s, I was seeing like Sensor was playing and they were still using the camos, but they were just not using the ones with the mask. They were using Sid, they were using Gollum, all those characters, um, because you can see them easily.
Yeah.
Um,
Hey, I use my character was a Rockers thing. You don't have to worry about that, bro. You look like a
oh
fucking
yeah, you can literally see him from a mile away.
miles away. That and Royal Ravens.
The Royal Ravens camo, the Royal Ravens skin is actually nice. I think the Huntsman skin is better than
By far the worst.
it's the
Yeah,
skin is good,
it's
but the
worse, but
camo is
like on
bad.
the
Yeah,
yeah.
the skin is really good, but the camo is just not good at all. It's like something that you'd I know Cyberox JP was telling me that it looks like something from World War Two, like the something that you just earn for getting a certain amount of kills or headshots. Like it's nothing special. That's the one thing I wish they added. They added something a little bit extra to it. Because the only
They
thing
were
you can,
meant to make the logos
yeah,
presets onto with. That's what they were meant to do.
or you just put the stickers on top, but there's nothing much to it. Um, I don't know. There was also leaked images of Tua's genitalia going all over
That's
WhatsApp
bullshit.
groups and
That is
everything.
such bullshit.
So I don't know what is. I don't know
My
what.
homeboy got his news looked. Yo, when I showed my mom, she was like, "That's what it looks like," and I was fucking laughing.
I don't know.
That's how the coronavirus got spread.
Yeah, cause you're putting your thing next to fish, bro. At least
Yo, speaking of which, have you seen those Instagram videos of people eating live fucking
there's like
animals?
a
I saw
bat in like a
rat
bowl of soup,
and
bro.
soup, and then there's like, bro, koalas as well. I was like,
I
ew.
don't know.
I watched it, but ew. God damn.
The one thing I can't watch is I can't watch mukbang or however you say it. Like people eating like live octopus like on camera. Like while it's still moving. I can't watch that at all.
I've seen like once, and it was who was it though? I don't know who it was, but he was playing Rocket League while doing it, and I was like looking at him, and while he's controlling, he's holding his controller, and then he has this shotgun microphone aiming at his mouth,
Oh no.
and then so it's a directional microphone. As he's doing this, he's asking someone to put a chip in his mouth, uh, and he's just doing that nonstop, and I'm like, why?
It's so extra, bro.
You just play the game or make something else. You don't have to eat. But some people love that shit. There's always people who like that shit.
Also, now that Kraus is here, I noticed that the Eclipse roster is different now
Oh,
as
the
well. I
eating
saw them playing.
one.
Um obviously it's been going around that Ryan is uh moved to another team, namely WG as the sixth. He's said that on stream. Uh, there's a lot of like different opinions on that, but I mean, there's nothing much you can do. When you're in a position where your team breaks, like is slowly breaking up by that. Um, but I'm seeing the new Eclipse roster. I saw them. I think it was they were playing a tournament. It was Kraus, a guy named Bot, um, probably Shattered. I'm not sure. Otto, Ritty, and Koala. It looks like a strong team, my opinion. Um, I just like to see. I don't know. Like I'm seeing like a lot of teams this year are picking up people with potential now. Like we picked up Simon. WG looked to pick up Ryan as the sixth. Which is a weird one. I'm be honest that was a very weird one, but it's good for him.
Not really. I mean, bench warmers, they are needed.
I didn't
But
expect you to say that. Holy shit.
Wait, what he said?
that,
He
that shit
said
was in
bench
cap
warmers.
tens, bro. That shit was everywhere. Can't fucking say shit. That shit was everywhere. It's been everywhere.
What's been everywhere?
Ryan being a bench warmer.
Oh, he said that.
I don't know.
That shit's been in cap tens, bro. It's been in tens. It's
But what
even
do you
been
guys
in
think? Is
the
that a good
scrims.
opportunity to be a sixth or not?
Because he can't play tournaments.
No,
I
no.
mean,
Some shit.
He's been playing tournaments. He's been playing
No,
tournaments.
land tournaments.
I don't know.
There's
it
something
depends. They
about
can always switch each other up when
Yep.
it's like whatever he wants to do. Obviously, they
Oh
didn't do
yeah,
it
it's
in
like
this.
CDL
They
rules.
didn't do it in this opening one. They didn't want it. But let's say a different game. I don't know what's his special game mode for him. But yeah.
No, because they said they can't use. Apparently, subs are not able to. There's a whole thing they have to do. So subs are basically useless.
That's for the CDL, but for us, we can sub in anyone we want mid tournament. Like, if we registered a sub, we can play HP. Say, for example, it's you, me, Zach, two other players. For example, my power cuts. Uh, I go off. They bring in someone in, perfectly fine. That's how it is in their um. That's how it is in SA. Prodigy
Simon
says
says
I
that
don't
no.
think he's their sixth. He's scrimming with them now. I don't know where Carl is. Hypes. Um, I'm not sure, but uh, I mean, I would like to see how the team performs. I'd like to scrim that team. Like, I'd really like to scrim that team just to see. We played them in a tournament, and I think we lost 3-2, but we should have really pulled that S&D back. The first S&D we should have pulled. I think we lost the first S&D. We lost the first S&D. We should have pulled that. The second S&D we should have pulled that as well. That was our main. That's why we practice S&D. That was our main floor. It was literally S&D that whole tournament. So um, that's just it. But I don't know. I mean, Lee makes certain decisions, and he's made good decisions as a captain. We'll just have to see how this one plays out. A lot of people have been like thinking it's not a good idea, thinking it is a good idea to have him picked up. Good for him. Um, I just like to see how it plays out. I'm not doubting anyone. I'm just saying, um, I just thought that they were gonna have hypes in permanently. That's what I thought. I didn't think that. Obviously, so some people like stop playing, some people start playing. I just thought that they would do their best to retain hypes. So that's just what I saw. I see they're playing with Theo as well. So I don't know how Theo is gonna come into the equation. I mean, is he gonna be the sixth? Is he gonna be the fifth? We don't know. Um, so yeah, the Eclipse roster though, the Eclipse roster is looking good. Eclipse roster is looking solid. It's Kraus, obviously Kraus bot, um, Koala, Ritty, and Otto, looking solid. I would like to scrim against him. If you hear Kraus, I really do want to scrim you guys. See how it goes. But there are a lot of unannounced teams. Apparently, EGSA is making a comeback. Liquido is now a FA. He's trying to make a comeback with a different team. But the one thing that we need to talk about is Lethal closing down. I don't know how to feel about that. That was, I
Hey
don't
yo,
know.
bro. Out of everyone, you should feel something. Well, you can talk about it more because you were in there the longest. You gave most of your time there.
Yeah, I mean, when we joined Lethal, well, we joined Percussion because it changed from uh, Percussion to Lethal this year or end of last year. Um, we joined, I think it was in May. I left Ventus to go and join them, and I mean, it was a welcoming experience. It was something where I got opportunities there that I didn't get anywhere else. So I was able to. They flew me up for A-LAN, um, and we, even though it was a minor, we did well as a team. We managed to like bring percussion's name up a bit. But then soon after the team, went to shambles, etc. But it still was, something that we built and we put a lot of time into. We put about half a year into, and if you take, a bit of the season as well, I mean, it was something. But I don't know. I feel bad. I don't know why per se why it actually closed down. But I do see Limitless has now joined EGSA as a co-owner. So that's something that's good to see. I do trust EGSA. EGSA is really good with what they do, and I think him, Yaku, and Jean will do very well in together. Um, I just want to see because I know Zero Designs is very close into the business end as well of Lethal, so I would like to see them bring him back. I don't know what the status is of that, but I mean his work is really good. Um, so that's just my point of view. I didn't like that it stopped, but there was also a lot of things that were happening with different people, different players. The team didn't work out. Team left. I don't know. I don't know what you guys think.
I mean, well, I never played for the team, but I've been around every person that was a part of the team. You guys had, well, you guys had two teams. You had the main one, and then they had Percussion Black or Lethal Black. And I vibed mostly with the Lethal Black because of T. And then I slowly vibed mostly, well, towards the end time, I vibed with the main team. But you all seemed like nice people, and obviously I met you. That's the first time I met you through that, and it's uh, it's at the same time it's like you put so much effort in this shit, and then
Mm,
saying goodbye, even though you're not a part of the team, you made your goodbye a long time ago. But you can't forget like your past
yeah,
and some shit. And sometimes it was nice and shit like that. So yeah,
I don't
I
know.
guess that's how. For you, I should ask T as well, cause T was a part of Lethal Black. But but so far you guys seemed like very nice bunch of people, and uh, saying goodbye must have affected you, like just leaving it first. But then obviously you knew you were onto some different stuff in life or a
Yeah,
different path in gaming, for Call of Duty, and then now it's over for them. But
I
they might be doing a well now Yaku has bought co-owner now of EGSA, which who can be good. But I do hope that Zero Designs do work for them because I like his work a lot.
I don't
Yep.
know. Wait, Tio, how was it like for you in Lethal Black? That's what I want to hear because I mean in Percussion Black because I mean I don't know what it was like there.
Mm.
It was the same as any other roster. Just you're just the what is it called, the second below the main. So you people would think you're
Give me a second, I'll be back. Just keep
uh,
going.
the worst team. Besides that, there wasn't really much to it. I mean, we did the same thing every other fucking team did, and we ran everything the same. Just we were put down a lot more because we were the second roster, not the main roster. That's really it.
Did you feel any type of emotions leaving it? Oh well, like you were like, ah, I'm done.
Not really, and just move to the next one. That's all you can really fucking do.
Yeah,
Because they removed all the rosters, and then so and then it's nothing much you can do if they remove all the rosters. You just gotta move on.
that whole roster thing actually started with our team because we were supposed to bring on. Now I can say it because it's gonna be common knowledge soon. We were supposed to pick up me, Tipman. It was supposed to be me, Tipman, Jarves, Bliss, and whoever the fifth was supposed to be. It didn't work out that way, and I understand why it didn't work out. It would have been a good team, but since it didn't work out, we had to pick up players, um, that would be, the type of players that you would sort of bring up, and it didn't work. Um, there was commitment, but there wasn't a lot of like pure. You can feel getting better every single day. Um, and unfortunately, I think that's what led to Lethal starting to clean up because I left, and then they started to drop the COD roster, the first roster, and then the second roster. Um, my opinion is that academy teams will only work in big orgs, like academy teams where you actually get something out of it. The academy roster actually gets something out of it. Is look at FaZe, look at E United. They had their academy teams. They actually got something out of it. They got some practice. Whereas if you are a second team, or if there are two teams, one team is always going to be looked at as the second team, regardless of. It's usually the names that are in the team. So
Yeah, there's something the second team's worse, but I mean, if you're a new player, it wouldn't be too bad to grow your name through there because I was part of the third team of percussion, then moved to second team. So can make your name, but it's just more difficult. It's better to be part of a main roster, but
But
it
your
will, it will be
academy
more
team
difficult.
was barely used, wasn't it, when you got moved to the second one?
The third one died out when I moved like 2 weeks after, Then we moved. When then the second one, we almost made it to DGC. Just we what is it? Fuck. We gave up. We couldn't play one game,
You
so we
guys
gave it
faced
up.
DN the first match. The
Yeah,
knockouts, you faced DN first.
yeah, and then we actually could have gone. That was the fucked up part. Is we had the points. I just remember we couldn't play one game, which was against someone, which it was dumb. That whole VS shit.
Talking of VS, there was a statement that was released. Um, not not this week. I think it was last week, and it stated that the cups or the leagues were announced was CS:GO, Rocket League, and Dota. Not mistaken, and there was no COD. And I know Dalre and Shani posted on it, and they said uh, it's unfortunate for COD players, but if you read in the small text underneath the bulleted text, it says that all the like titles that haven't been announced formally on this page will be hosted in cup form like they did before. But the only thing that I'm seeing now is that the league hasn't even started. I mean, the cups haven't even started yet. And last year, if I'm not mistaken, Cup 1 started on the 16th of Jan, and now we're already into Feb, the 1st of Feb. So it could be moved further down, but if we're not hearing anything by the end of Feb or the start of March, then I would think it's chalked, and it's a lot of people's time that's been wasted. I mean, you can play ACGLs if they're hosting lands this year. If they're not hosting lands this year, the only thing that you can play COD right now is for fun. That's if VS is done. If VS is still there, then there's something to grind for. But at the moment now, if VS is no longer going to be uh, having COD a part of it, then it's kind of chalked for everyone. So that's a sad thing for everyone as well. Um, moving away from COD, the UFC 246 happened last weekend, yeah, and Conor
Mhm.
McGregor won by I don't know how many seconds, 40 seconds,
40 seconds.
Yeah.
40 seconds.
40 seconds.
That was he literally used his shoulders, knocked Cerrone down, or didn't knock him down. He put him in a kind of a daze, and then just
Fucked
started
up
beating
his
him up.
left eye.
Yep,
Mhm.
I expected something better. I expected something
That's
way
that's
better.
the thing, though. That's the thing. Anything can happen within that. As soon as you enter that octagon and that bell gets rang, the ref says, "All right, go against each other. Time to get it on." It depends. The way they fought. Whoever the better guy is, whoever how they move throughout that first match. It doesn't have to always be 5 rounds or shit like that. But yeah, it was surprising. 30 seconds. 40 seconds. Sorry. But remember the time he knocked out Jose
Oh yeah, and
Aldo?
13, isn't it?
Yeah,
13.
yeah. And people were like, "Huh, what the fuck?" I guess it's because they wanted these two to fight for so long, Cerrone
Mm,
and McGregor for so long. They wanted them to fight with each other across that path. And obviously, he was a more um, respectable Conor McGregor
yeah, much more humbler.
for good reasons because he doesn't want to cause shit with his past right now. He's been dealing with too much hectic shit. So yeah, but I understand he didn't even bother to trash talk. Seemed like he respected Cerrone, which to be fair, yeah, Cerrone is a good fighter and he doesn't bother to trash talk a lot at all. Most of the time, if anything, he's one of the most scariest people because like before the fight, he does all these things on embedded. He goes on skiing. He does
Yeah,
rock climbing.
he's like an
Listen,
adrenaline junkie, like before the fight.
yeah, and it's scary because like what happened with long time ago with DC Daniel Cormier. He was fighting this was Dan Henderson, and he was doing some other shit, and he accidentally like the stage speaker, sorry, was like behind him. Like right behind him
Yeah.
on his right foot, and as he's getting up the chair, they moved it forward while they were talking. He didn't realize as he got up, he just dropped, and his
Oh,
leg got fucked up in the back. And that shit, it was okay to fight, but still the pain for that for him
that must
because
have
it looked like
been.
he was struggling. Both of his legs are like
Probably
fucked.
had a
Like
pre-existing injury as well there.
yeah, and it tells you as well. It's like life can. Speaking of someone like Kobe Bryant and his daughter, life can just flick like that.
Mm.
And sometimes you don't even have to do fucking uh, physical activities. Just come out of nowhere.
Gotta cherish life, bro.
Yeah,
Take it for its ups and downs. 'Cause you never get it again. One time, done. Well, we don't know, but I mean, for us right now, it's one time and it's done.
yeah. It's
Um,
also for those. It's not also saying to those who are affected with mental issues
yeah,
and depression. I'm not. We're not like saying like, oh, you just get it over and be happy.
yeah.
That's something you can't do. There's always help out there, but never forget there's always help to those who struggle with mental issues.
That's a big
And,
thing. I think that's. I think
yeah,
like if you're dealing with something mentally, it's even. I think it's even bigger than a physical. Like if you are like mentally struggling with something, it's I think it's just as great as something with like a physical cap or something like that. That's my opinion. I think you can struggle even more with something mentally than you would physically. But
mm,
I guess a physical thing with coming with a physical cap also comes with a mental thing with it as well. So I mean, both go in hand if one happens. Um, but just I mean, you just gotta push through it. You gotta try to do what you can. You need people to help you as well. You can't do shit on your own. That's one thing I noticed. Like if you look at some of the most successful people, they've never done everything just on their own. Like they've had other people like guide them, help them, etc. Like people who went from like ground level to like the most successful person in the world had people along the way to help him and or them or her, him or her or they, as people would say. But yeah, that's definitely got
yeah,
to be able to look at that too. Um, Also, something that going back to COD, INV has now announced its partnership with Matrix. Matrix Warehouse, if you guys don't know, it's um, I don't know where. I think it's in Ravonia Crossing in Joburg, and it's not the only one, but it's they sell different computer parts, keyboards, mice, computer equipment, and they also have a facility within the actual store where it's a LAN center. It's not called Raving Mad Gamers, but that's where they have their uh, where their LANs are held. So I don't know what the partnership there is gonna be like. I don't know what you guys think about that. I mean, it could be a
hmm.
boot camp place.
No, it's gonna be
At
nice.
least they got a thing to, electronic company, or sorry, department store that deals with that online store. Can give them good things. Resources are always viable. If ever a player's monitor breaks, headset not working, their controller's having some issues, or they need some cool stuff to be decked out, maybe an incentive to win tournaments and shit like
Yeah,
that, gifted stuff. Yeah, it's
they would.
nice.
But like now, going with tournament organizers, there was something that
I'll
got
be right back.
leaked.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry about
all
that.
right. I'll just like kind of stream the topic here quickly. There's a TO tournament organization called Ace Gaming, and it's led by a guy called Andrea, also known as Ace Nautilus. And apparently there was a leaked. Well, I saw it. There was a leaked image on Twitter. With it was between a Fortnite player and him, and he was talking about because he competed in one of the Ace Gaming tournaments, and they were sent a message to work out the calculation for compensation because he came, I think, top three or something. So don't quote me on those details. Um, but apparently they were trying to work out like how much he's owed, and then Andrea, the Ace owner, like clapped back with certain things, calling him immature and stuff like that. But it just went back and forth. Um, but I don't know how. Apparently, like people haven't been paid by him. People haven't been, compensated for their tournament earnings. So I just want to get, everyone's opinions on that because I think getting your compensation from tournaments is probably the most important thing. Obviously, we know from EGE in 2018, the people who competed in EGE 2018, the teams that competed and who placed top three still haven't got their money to this day, and I think that's when it comes to cash, when it comes to money, if you owe someone like money or something like that, you can't keep on. Or if you owe teams money, you can't keep on just delaying them and carry on delaying the date which you're gonna pay them back. Zach, what I was talking about is there was a organization called Ace Gaming, and their
Yeah,
owner
yeah, yeah.
Ace
With the
Nautilus. You saw that.
yeah.
So,
I've been following that story.
so I don't know like what. I mean, he's had a history of having a scuff company called Legend Scuff Repairs or Scuff Legend Repairs, and apparently I don't have the full facts. He offers a quote to repair their scuff. He takes their scuff in. The user does not see their scuff again, and then he sells that same scuff that you gave him to fix as a used scuff for someone else to buy. How much of that is true? I'm not sure. Okay, wait. I think yours.
He either has load shedding, which may have activated, or his Discord crashed.
I think his Discord
So,
crashed.
yeah,
There we go.
that man. Yeah. Oh,
Back,
jeez.
but the cameras are different now. I know the cameras are the same, but um,
You
yeah.
sure?
So I don't know. What do you guys think of that? What do you think of that, Zach? Like, just
Uh, I see myself on three. Sorry. Uh, I've heard that he will be attending someone's podcast to
tomorrow, I
explain
think.
his
Yeah.
yeah, to explain everything. But a lot of people screen record their WhatsApp messages. They were putting it under the specific thread about all the shit that happened. And uh, it's just goes up to how they're gonna sort it out because it seems like it's a bad issue. It's a major issue, obviously. It's winnings and
Yeah.
stuff like
He's
that.
had a history of
And the
doing.
way he is responding, well, Ace Gaming has been responding to some of these people, like, it's their money. Yeah, they deserve it. But like the way they respond is like kind of in a fucking dicky way.
Yeah, you can't do that if you're an organization. Like, you really
Honestly.
can't do that.
Mm,
Maybe you never know if those messages weren't real because you have these certain things. But he didn't debate. He didn't deny those messages. Um, but he's coming around very cocky, like with people responding to the
mm,
podcast, like him being in the podcast. He's like, "Oh, just watch and see the podcast. Don't ask questions now." Yet people have a right to ask questions on Twitter. It's a social media.
yeah,
But
exactly.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see what he says tomorrow. I'm keen to see what his reasoning is behind not paying people their money that they earned. Because I mean, you pay entry fee. I don't know how much the entry fee was. You win a
Yeah.
tournament or you place top three. You promised money and you don't end up getting it, which is a big thing. It's almost like gambling, but having the cards rigged in a way. If you think about it.
Mm,
So I don't know what how he's gonna come back from that, if he has the money or if he's gonna pay people or how that's gonna work. But I think that he needs to make sure, number
yeah.
one, the people are paid. That's the
Mm.
that's the main issue.
Because obviously, with all the shit that's happening now, people won't be playing in these tournaments. So if you're playing in these tournaments, either you want it, you don't care, or like, I don't know. Because like, if I was someone like that and I hadn't found out like people, well, that he does this, I wouldn't play in any of his
Nah,
tournaments.
yeah.
You won't get back your money you promised or shit like that. Sorry. You won't get money back promise and shit like that. It's like, what the fuck? Like, you
You're
really,
just
I'm
scamming
finna
people
trust
at
this
that
man.
point. Like, you're
Nah,
scamming
yeah.
people who are,
You're
you
literally
know,
playing with the con man
yeah. Um, but I want to see like what his point of view is,
responses.
because if he is getting entry fees, he's taking like 10% profit. Okay, he's
Mm.
and where he's taking 20%. If he's taking 30 or 20%, a percentage of that goes to like like different costs within the company that they have to pay off certain things if they thinking of expanding, or it's going to his scuff legend repair business. I'm not
Is he
sure.
still doing that?
Yeah, he's still doing that. He's
Oh,
still doing that. And when my scuff
people still do that.
yeah, and when my scuff was, I remember I got a scuff in 2017, and then there was a problem with it in 2018, and I said I don't know how to fix this pedal problem. Probably the button. I still haven't fixed it to this day. I have a different scuff, but he messaged me through the scuff repairs thing, and he said, I can repair your scuff for you. But I already knew at that point that people haven't got their scuffs yet. Like people haven't been getting their scuffs back. But if they've been getting it back, apparently hasn't fixed it properly. He's just literally done something with the pedals, put some, compressed air underneath it, dust it out, and then he gives it back and he charges them a hefty price for it. Um,
Mm.
I'm not using this as a platform to mow him down. This is just what I've heard personally.
Yeah.
This is not facts. This is just what I've heard, seen on Twitter, heard from other people. It's not my own opinion. But my opinion
Obviously,
is
there's
that
a
he
lot
needs
of
to pay
people
that
that.
money. He has to pay that money
Yeah.
because people paid entry to go and pay for the play that tournament, and now they're not even getting a return on something where they were guaranteed a return.
Exactly. It's bullshit. You shouldn't be doing.
I think the Fortnite community doesn't know about him not paying people that much. I think it's more the COD community because he got into that you're hosting lands and tournaments. He hosted a couple, I think one or two lands last year, and I don't know if people got their money. Maybe they did. I'm not sure. I didn't play that land, but yeah.
But yeah.
But I
Uh.
think oh yeah, we haven't spoke about WWE yet, bro. Like
No,
this
no, no. I
is
was gonna continue. Just
uh
think, who was it that has the biggest problem with him? That it's Riot ZA, the
yeah,
Fortnite
riots,
player,
the
not the
Fortnite player.
other Riot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he's the one that started, well, not started exposing. I'm pretty sure there were people in the past, from what I saw now, on that tweet. But now the person who actually came forward, and now this is all getting, large. Some days, this couldn't have this wouldn't have to escalate this big of like a problem if they just didn't even, you could have just paid the people what they earned.
Or don't
They're winning.
don't don't make fun of someone like because it's a big issue. It's money.
Mm.
Don't call them like immature or something like that. Just say that you're trying your best to get things done. You just want to get things done efficiently. But he decided to take the immature route and just roast this kid. I don't know. Well, I can't say that because I don't know what was said before that. Like they didn't
Yeah,
show. So,
it's always two sides to the
but
story.
as a TO, you can't do that. Like if you look at the big TOs, ACGL, Zombie Gamer, even Shani as well, they deal with all of those things the right way as a normal business should, from a neutral standpoint. So I don't know what they said before that, but that
Mm,
took the cake for me.
exactly. Moving on. Well, I went back to uni this week, like after a month and a half off. I study film production, so I like filmmaking and stuff like that. I'm an editor myself,
He's really
and
good at
just
it.
a streamer.
He's really good at it.
Depends on how people look at it. Depends how they define good. But yeah, I can do stuff. But um, so far it's been I only go twice a week. That's how it works. Twice a week, but and I do my shit during obviously those days off and get that shit done. But it's pretty fun what I'm doing right now. I made so far going back. It's been about 2 weeks now.
2 weeks. Yeah.
Um, 4 lessons worth, but the 2 lessons that actually do the shit and have like a 6 hour. Well, it's 2 lessons put together, but we film the whole day, and then we film the whole day, film for the first 3 hours, and then edit for the last 2 hours. Depends on the groups we're in, but I'm always with this go-to group that I know, and we made about 3 movies so far. Where like the I had to play a voice actor as a blunt
Oh.
marijuana. Yeah. And, that needs to be edited, but yeah. And then also the second one, the one that I did recently is about a woman uh cheating on me, my friend, in the story, with the lesbian relationship that they've been sexually active the past 5 months against me, who's been with her for 2 years.
Yo,
And that also needs to be edited. But
that's gonna
yeah,
be a killer story, bro.
it's more of a comedic story because I go off. and I say some funny ass shit that my lecturer was behind me while I was recording the shit, and he saw me go off like I improvised it. I'm not an actor at all, but we had to fill that role in, and I said so much of shit that someone shouldn't say. But when you, I might show it. But yeah, they'll definitely see it. These two. But I have to wait.
Everyone calls
But
him Zaddy,
Keegan,
by the way.
hey, speaking of which, Keegan, my man entered I envy now, huh? My guy, I envy Keegan. You know, he was like, no, 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 not I envy, not I envy. He's not gonna do it because he has to first think about like his future and shit like that with the work related. But now he's an I envy. My guy, he's probably gonna become captain now. Watch out, whoever captain is.
Ah, he's taking captain. You know how Keegan is.
Keegan loves being the captain.
Ah,
He do be vibing though.
he'll make that team good though. One thing I'll say.
The team's actually not too bad. Just a few.
What?
The team's not too bad. With a few changes, they can actually not too. They're not too
Was
bad.
so,
They just need to practice more rotations, like each
uh,
like respawn modes.
I'm awake.
Make
Wait,
waves, don't doubt.
don't.
You know the vibes.
Yeah, I don't doubt that spelling, but yeah, I know that vibe. Oh yeah. So moving on, WWE nigga. WWE did Royal Rumble this week. They had some new people. Obviously, it's always good when they bring back old people. They brought back MVP, which
Yeah, I
was
saw that.
he was a WCW. Thing. Yeah, man's been eating good, but he can still perform. He can still perform. Um, the best part was Edge being brought back. I knew as soon as he brought back, this has to be a retirement storyline. So what's gonna happen is probably him and Randy Orton. And Randy Orton was gonna eliminate him, obviously being RKO him. They did a double RKO on Drew McIntyre, and it was pretty funny. Uh, but yeah, and then Edge eliminated Randy Orton because he knew Randy was gonna turn on him. Randy Orton won. Almost got. It was the last three alive. He was the fourth to exit, I believe. It was Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre, and Edge who was lost, and then Edge got eliminated by Roman Reigns, and then it was between Drew. No, both of them are against each other, and then Drew McIntyre won it. He eliminated Reigns, I believe. But yeah, so now he's on to go on to choose whoever he wants, either the heavyweight or the universal. But
Mm,
but it's said that he's going against Brock Lesnar, so he wants the heavyweight title,
yeah.
and that will be in WrestleMania. But for the women's one, it's Charlotte Flair, which not many people are happy with because she's been giving too many
Yeah,
opportunities.
because of
She's
her.
of her name,
Yeah.
of her name, and it's sad because there's so many uh
Better talent that could have taken that spot.
underrated female talent, yeah, that could have taken like they could have given it to Sasha Banks. She's come back, but they could have given it to somebody else. And I was like, really? They're gonna do this? And if they're gonna do what I think they're gonna do is where Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch at WrestleMania, it's gonna be
She
meh
doesn't deserve that. Like,
now Becky Lynch has become an over person,
yeah.
and the man, sorry, that's what they call him, her, and they said apparently Ronda Rousey will come back and just eliminate them both and then take both the belts. But she doesn't even have a belt. That's what you're gonna have to push something up on that, and it's all a up mess. But no one wanted Charlotte to win because she got too many opportunities. But that's all. Moving on from Raw. I believe actually no, Raw had some good things. Buddy Murphy and Seth Rollins won the tag team
I saw
champions, and
that.
they defended it successfully against Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens. That was pretty good. Eric Rowan is still carrying that stupid ass cage, man. That stupid ass cage that acts like there's something hidden, but there really isn't. Someone moved it like an event in 205 live, sorry, the live events that WWE do during the week that shows. Uh, they didn't get any. It was like an empty cage. Rey Mysterio went one on one with MVP in Raw. That was pretty good. MVP lost, but it was a pretty good match. Andreas and Humberto Carrillo went against each other for the U.S. title again. But it looked like Humberto turned heel, which was pretty nice because he's normally a baby face. So maybe this as a heel would be pretty good because he removed the mat and then hit him with a concrete
Oh,
DDT. And normally, they do like some hectic shit thing, but hitting his head onto concrete, that's some other shit. And speaking of which, the homeboy Andreas has got 30-day violation for wellness,
oh
which means
wow,
he must have smoked some weed,
definitely.
probably. So
He's
now he's
definitely
30 days, and probably that's how they exited him in with the Humberto Carrillo. I don't know what they're gonna do with the U.S. Championship being off 30 days, but that's pretty much. Randy Orton came out, assaulted Edge, of course, for revenge in the Royal Rumble, which will probably set up a feature for them to storyline to fight at uh, WrestleMania, and that's probably going to be his retirement match as
yeah,
well,
his
because he
last
can
one.
finally say goodbye. Adam Cole and Tommaso Ciampa will fight each other in NXT for that takeover for that thing. Now, Dominic Javovic and Damian Priest will be fighting to get a chance to fight Keith Lee,
Oh,
Mr.
Keith Lee.
Limitless. Yeah, for the North American titles. Keith Lee is an amazing guy. He's a big
He's too good.
guy who moves like a cruiserweight. He moves like a fucking cruiserweight. It's pretty amazing how he moves.
I've never seen someone that big
Yeah,
move like that.
yeah, and it's awesome. Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne, people you wouldn't ever see as like a team. They won the Dusty Classic, and they got a chance to fight for the NXT, I believe, UK Tag Team
Yeah,
Championships. So that's gonna be wild. If they become tag team championships, it's gonna be awesome because Pete Dunne's a serious guy, serious tough British guy who has the stiff attitude, and Matt Riddle is like a chill guy, always says bro to
yeah,
everyone, and like is that let's face it, he's probably high most of the time when he does fight or stuff like that, but that's his character. For SmackDown, this morning, like around 2 a.m., Braun Strowman won the Intercontinental Championship. He deserved to win that shit, bro.
yeah,
This man fought for. He had a huge storyline. They built him up since the fight. After the fight with John Cena and Roman Reigns, they started building up Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar, and they fought each other in Saudi Arabia. Played dirty, obviously. Brock retained it. He then did the Hell in a Cell one. He won it. He never got his chance to fight. And then when he did get his chance, that was like just a normal home show. He retained it again. He retained it again. And then he even fought for the US Championship. He lost that because the Shield came and stopped him from cashing in. And he did also try and cash in. He also cashed in on it was Roman Reigns, but the Shield stopped him then when they were time. But yeah, he deserved finally something.
definitely.
Miz and John Morrison, they came back. They're an amazing tag team. I remember that was one of the best things that ever had in 2009
2009, yeah.
times when John Cena, when the spinning WWE
Mm.
Championship existed. That was the greatest shit ever. And then Edge was the only one to ever touch the championship and redo it with adding his name when they
Yeah,
changed
that
that
E
spinning
logo as well.
leader through it
Yeah,
into the ocean, the old one, and then put yeah, rated our superstar. And then Roman Reigns went against King Corbin and with his family, the Usos, and they put dog food all over him, which is pretty funny because the person who was meant to lose it, it says they have to eat dog food, but he strapped him into handcuffs and threw dog food all over him, like how they did to him. Moving on from that, that's the Fast and Furious live stream was yesterday. It got me
oh
emotional as
yeah,
fuck. I love
I
this
saw
shit.
that. I saw
Everyone
you.
will bitch. People will be like bitch about Fast and Furious being unrealistic and shit. Which, to be fair, they have done that. But just like Call
That's
of
the
Duty, just
franchise,
like
bro.
FIFA,
That's just the
just like
franchise.
yeah, Call of Duty, FIFA, people will still buy it, but they'll bitch. But the thing is, they always do huge things.
Yeah,
And obviously, it was shown that Jacob, who's the villain in this one, well, one of the antagonists of this one, Cypher, has asked. Cypher is going to be the main villain until Fast and Furious 12. Will be it's his younger brother, Dominic Toretto's younger brother. Han is back. Can't
yeah,
wait
I
to
saw
find out
him.
how he's back.
The end of the
He had
trailer.
his orange, black and orange Toyota drift car. Sean was back as well, the Drift King from Tokyo Drift.
Mm.
I'm still hopefully Bow Wow will be in it. Um, they had some cool Tyrese Gibson Roman in the movie. It's awesome. It's pretty cool that they're back. Um, I can say a bit of this, but I watched Birds of Prey early. Can't talk about it, but I was pretty good, and I really enjoyed it a lot. But it's something that they really uh, they didn't R. It's an R-rated film. Um, for a DC storyline, this was like Aquaman storyline. It was that good,
Oh,
like because DC don't have that much good. When it comes to live action movies, they shit.
yeah,
You can't do shit. But then when it comes to animation, they're kings at it. They'll always beat, and
killers,
no
yeah.
matter what, even Disney, they'll always beat animated movies with the way they tell the storylines and
Mm,
shit like that. But this Birds of Prey is really gonna be good, and know that James Gunn is doing Guardians of the Galaxy 4, no, sorry, 3,
three.
and then he's doing the Suicide Squad, which is a reboot. It showed some stuff what they can be possible future for. Um, Morbius is coming out,
Mm,
and the director hinted, obviously now they're part of the universe of Marvel. Sinister Six movie will probably come out where it'll be Spider-Man against all six villains, which will be Morbius. Um, they still have to announce, obviously Vulture, but those are the and Venom,
yeah,
and probably Carnage, and then they have to announce the two others, but that will come at a later date. Probably. So yeah, but so far the Marvel universe they're always on top right now. DC is been good so far. I'm not grading them too much, but the TV series, The Crisis on Infinite Earth, saying goodbye to Arrow this week was emotional as fuck for me because I've been since season one. I grew up with that show. I've been watching that. The Warner Brothers DC shows on the CW were always amazing. They do a great job with that crossover. I really liked it. They introduced more superhero crossover TV series coming, with Superman being one of them, which is nice. Um, so far so good. I have nothing else to say
yeah. That's
besides they've been making a comeback in the movie industry, and if they keep going this way and they keep doing what they did with Birds of Prey, like not pushing it too much with like the story or stuff like that. I'm not saying anything about that, but I'm saying if they have that same aspect and they look at it through movies like that instead of pushing it out just to beat Marvel each time, or try
yeah.
to get
I've
numbers,
noticed that.
they can really do something with the way they tell storylines. But also Marvel is also the White Knight because they take all the people that will root for motherfuckers like let's say Jared Leto. Yeah, he fucked up as the Joker, and Joaquin Phoenix is an amazing Joker.
Very good.
Look, they took the fucker from Fantastic Four, the Black Johnny Storm,
Mm,
and they turned him into a fucking villain in Black Panther called Eric Killmonger, and he was a villain that people understood.
yeah.
They can do this with the Mobius as well.
They can do it with
And the
all of
best
them,
part is,
even.
but yeah, the best part is all of DC's uh, actors that go there. Christian Bale, the Batman from the Dark Knight movie series that Zack Snyder won. He's coming into a play, uh, for an Eternal character. Don't know who yet. Kit Harington is playing the Knight in the Eternals. There's so
Mm,
many cool people that's coming in, and Marvel's putting in. The Winter Soldier and Falcon series is almost done filming. That's gonna be coming to Disney Plus this year, or you can just pirate it. I don't really care what people do. For UK, I want to tell you guys this in UK. Someone got so happy. I don't know. Bunch of people are so happy that Disney Plus is releasing early, right? But this is the fucked up part. This is the part that makes me go like, I know you guys saw the complaining about the Mandarin, but like you guys should have pirated it. Fuck it. I did that. That's how I watched the Mandarin. But like it's Mandarin. I'm saying Mandarin.
Mandalorian now.
Dorian. Yeah, sorry. But then they say people are getting fucking excited because it's releasing 1 week early than the original part. I mean, it's not really much difference because people bought that shit just for that one TV series.
Yeah.
1 week
That
early.
literally
Obviously,
carried
kids
that.
will love
That literally
it. Yeah,
carried the subscriptions. Like,
because the subscription has gone down.
mm,
They have to wait until like season two, which is coming out end of this year, and then in August time it'll be released. The Winter Soldier and the Falcon, which is awesome because I like the villain of the TV series is gonna be Baron Zemo from
mm,
Civil War, same guy,
double.
and he was the first villain that showed the Marvel universe that even if you're a human being, he did more damage than besides Thanos. Before Thanos, he
Mm,
did more damage to them without even touching a hand on them.
yeah.
He just broke them mentally. That's what broke the Avengers, and then obviously Thanos made them come back. But yeah, pretty good. There's been talks of Emily Blunt coming in for Mrs. Fantastic, for Fantastic Four's thing. Hopefully, a
Oh,
husband, real life husband. Uh, guy who plays Jim in uh, the U.S. office, and A Quiet Place, the father. He'll be coming back. He'll be playing Mr. Fantastic because that'll be a pretty good match. And there's talks of Henry Cavill playing Captain Britain, but that's more
That'll be
like
the
that.
that'll
That was
it's either him or Christian Bale who plays Captain
yeah.
Britain. Like
But
that.
Christian Bale is with Eternals right now, so I doubt he'll be playing Captain Britain. But I'm pretty sure Henry Cavill has a good shot. It's him or it's they were bringing I forgot his name. It's something Erdogan or something like that. But you know the guy from Kingsman, Eggsy.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
I don't know his name,
yeah,
but I
yeah.
know the
But
actor.
he played there's this movie Elton John Rocketman. He played the as Elton John. It was really good, and he sang. And I like depictions like that, biographies. Um, it's pretty cool.
Amazing.
But yeah, that's all for me.
That's all from me as well. Tio, is there
Alright.
anything you want to say as well?
No, nothing too much. I mean, my power's cutting soon, so I'm gonna have to play with myself in the dark. I don't know. This
Hey,
dude.
fuck me. I'm actually in the dark right now. My bad, y'all.
No,
Shit.
you know there was light like while you were talking,
Zach,
so
It's because
no.
it's because my Mac died. I used different monitor
You're
screen to
in
look
the
at.
dark with power. I'm gonna be in the dark with no power.
I mean
I'm
that's just the
gonna
name
be
of the game in SA,
sweating.
bro. That's the name of the game.
Yeah,
Open a window,
I
like
should put it
sleep
white.
outside or something.
I'm gonna go outside. Go jack off out there, make the trees grow.
I don't think that's how it.
You know, I heard sperm is good fertilizer. Okay.
Yeah, but
Wait,
That
will
guy
that
said it's
explain
good.
why pussy hair grows so quick when you come on it?
It's mad. All right,
I'm just
bet.
saying.
yeah,
Okay, we're
that's
done with
we're
this.
done for tonight. We'll come. Oh, before we go, I just want to say Cam, not Cam, and Kraus. Thank you for the follow. I didn't see that because my feed is minimized, so I can get
Cam,
an
not Cam.
idea
Yeah,
of.
that's my homeboy. Yo,
Yeah,
Cam.
Cam.
Hey, Cam. Last week you told me to hit the. I hit it now, bitch. Sorry, my bad. I hadn't hit it last week, proper for you too.
But
But
it,
yeah, I miss you, Cam. Hopefully we'll see each other this year. I met Cam for the people who don't know his stream. I grew up in Dubai, and I met Cam
That's
when
the
I went
same kid
to
you
my
punched.
previous. Basically, yeah. And
Yeah.
he's a real nice guy,
yeah,
homeboy.
I can say from what I know of Cam, I haven't spoken to
Plus,
him,
he's
but
dating my
he's
sister, so gang shit.
from what I know of him, he's a
Watching.
really nice guy, supportive.
Mhm.
But yeah, thank you too for the follow. Um, I mean, this has been a quite a long podcast. It's been good, but definitely as the weeks go on, there'll be more topics to talk about because I know this time we didn't have as much to talk about. But definitely looking forward to the next one. So, thank you guys for tuning in. Any last things anyone wants to say? Nothing.
No. Have a good weekend.
Yeah. Have a good weekend. Have a good Sunday. 2K Sunday tomorrow. Um.
Ah, I wish I was
Good
involved in
luck on that.
that.
You dating my sister. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys for following and for joining in. We're gonna end it right here.
Yeah. See you guys.